It's like Jalan.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this session of Let Us Talk It webinars. We are extremely excited to have you again with the beginning of this week. We have our webinars all set for you. We hope that you join these webinars every week. We do these webinars Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursdays from 12 to 1 p.m. EST. And we have all types of topics. And we also have our youth webinars. And with that, we begin every today. There has been some technical glitches, so we are a little late, but we hope the wait will be worth it, because the topic we have today is a very relevant topic for each one of us, and we cannot get rid of that. Is anger management. Learn to manage your anger constructively and efficiently. And as much as we want to do all of it, try to walk away from the problem, wait and cool off, apologize, tell somebody to stop making you angry, write about it, whatever we do, at the end of the day, sometimes we do get angry, and it would be great if we can manage that. So to give this topic a new perspective and some ways, we have with us our guest speaker, Gaurav Sharma. He is proudly known as Gaurang, and he is an internationally acclaimed personal development consultant, speaker, author, self-love activist, and advocate of women's voices. And he has been delivering his speeches since 2005. He is the first Indian speaker interviewed on People Building Members Club webinar United Kingdom, and prestigiously associated with Professional Speakers Association of New Zealand. And the best one thing that I liked about his profile, that he believes that life is like an uneven road which leads us to various destinations, but the journey is not smooth. Each and every human needs some words of encouragement in his or her life. So over to you, Gaurav. Absolute pleasure to have you on Let Us Talk It webinars. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Thank you very much. I never thought that I'm going to give a webinar with you, but it's an honor to have here. And today we are suffering from anger. And one of the most beautiful things about anger is that we can manage it constructively and effectively once we are going to know it. My friends, anger is only one word short of danger. So anger becomes dangerous when you are not able to understand it properly and effectively. And today we are going to discuss what is anger management and how we can deal with it so that it can help us achieve our goals in a desired way. Today we'll learn top 5 anger myths, what causes anger, when anger becomes a problem, different types of anger, what is anger management, benefits of anger management, tools with the help of which we can tame our anger, the 5-step approach of managing anger, different techniques to manage anger, and how these techniques will help us. Folks, the 5 biggest myths about anger is others make us angry. This is one of the biggest myths we all know. Others can never make us angry because we became angry due to our own limiting beliefs, lack of self-control, and self-awareness. Another myth that people think that it is true is anger builds up inside, has to be released at once. No, this is the biggest myth, because once you are going to release your anger at once, it's going to only destruct you and your relationships. Anger should not be released at once. Another myth that people believe that if anger is not released to be at once, that it should be suppressed for a long term. No, this is absolutely a myth. Anger should neither be expressed at once nor suppressed for a long period. Anger, if suppressed for a long period, will never help us to utilize it effectively and help us to achieve our desired goals and make us. Can you listen to my voice?
Absolutely.
Hello,
Please continue. Yes, we can hear.
hello, hello. Yeah,
Yeah,
now it's okay.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. We can hear you. Please continue.
okay.
Yeah.
Anger suppress should not be for long term because once you're going to know the root cause of anger, you must deal with it intelligently. And it's obvious that the moment we are feeling angry, it's not possible for us to deal with it intelligently. But once we are going to know ourselves and how know that how we are going to deal with it, we can suppress it for a short term and later on see its effect, that how it's going to help us. Another myth, people think that people with childhood issues, people with childhood problems have anger issues. This can be true to a certain extent, but it's not absolutely true at all. A person can get angry at any age, at any stage, irrespective of prior issues. We have to understand the root cause of anger and then work on it effectively. Another biggest myth, anger is an unhealthy emotion. No, my friends, it's a very healthy emotion if we are going to understand it. Anger, when understood by you effectively, will help you achieve whatever you want in your life. Because we are going to be, in order to know the anger, we have to be self aware, we have to control ourselves, and that was make us a man of value. Another thing is what causes us anger. It's simple frustration, not getting what we want in spite of efforts. Just like you see few minutes before that, in spite of best efforts, we are not able to get the rid of our problems. And feeling that others do not respect us or care about us. These are the two causes that make us angry. When anger becomes a problem, my friends, anger becomes a problem when it's too frequent. If you are dealing with anger on a daily basis, it may be reducing the quality of your life, your relationships, and your health. Another reason, when it lasts too long, angry feeling that lasts for a long time are hard on your mood and your body. When anger leads to aggression, folks, when you're going to become aggressive due to anger and lash on others verbally or physically, it will definitely affect the way you deal with the conflict. And anger with aggression never benefits. Disturbs work and relationships. When you have intense anger and frequent anger, it will definitely going to disturb your work and relationships with co-workers, family members, and friends. And its works, anger can lead to the loss of employment or damage of important relationships which you never want to lose in life. My friends, next question people often ask from me is, are there any types of anger? I said yes. And they just look at me aghast and say that, are there types? We never knew that anger can have types. I said yes. Anger is that emotion that can be destructive and leads to problems if get unnoticed. There are 12 most common types of anger. We are going to discuss it in detail. Number one is behavior, passive, verbal, constructive, self-inflicted, volatile, chronic, judgmental, overwhelming, retaliatory, paranoid, and above all, deliberate. If in general I'm going to ask people that from the names, how you can deal with anger and what anger, how it can be described in detail. But once we are going to discuss in detail, I request you to just judge yourself whether you are suffering from that particular anger or not. And honestly keep it with you and try to work on it effectively. And you will definitely do. Number one is behavior anger. This type of anger is usually describes someone who is aggressive towards whatever triggered their anger. This can be another person. This can be someone who always seems to act out. Sometimes the outcome is physical abuse or attacks against each other. Number second comes passive anger. People who are sarcastic and use mockery and way to hide their feelings typically express this form of anger. They tend to avoid confrontations with people or situations in which they are angry. They have anger in themselves, but they do not express it. Another is verbal anger. As the name represents, anger that's expressed mostly through words and not actions. Verbal abuse is used to criticize or insult people or complaining about them. It's known as verbal anger. Another is constructive anger. As the name represents, this type of anger is a key factor in driving people to want to join movements or groups. It is the feeling of being fed up with how things are going on, and there is a need for change through positive attitude. Another form of anger is self-inflicted anger. Self-inflicted anger is very dangerous because it causes harms to your own body. People who are suffering from this type of anger generally starve or cut their veins or overeat or do something wrong to themselves. This is very dangerous anger and this can even take your life. Another anger is volatile. This form of anger occurs in various degrees. It comes and goes. It can just appear out of nowhere and build into something bigger. It can either explode or go unnoticed. It could be even expressed verbally or physically. I think most of the people suffer from this type of anger, volatile anger, because they don't know from where anger comes and it just disappears within few minutes. Chronic anger, as the name represents, when a person is suffering from this type of anger, anger becomes a way of living. He becomes angry without any reason and remain angry throughout day. Most likely, if people suffer from chronic anger are not normal and they are categorized in abnormal or sometimes insane. Judgmental anger. I think 90% of people have this type of anger. Judgmental anger is putting others people down or making them feel about themselves or abilities in the form of judging them. The person expresses their feelings by making those around him worthless. For example, in spite of having best talent, you are not getting success. Why you are not getting the desired results? You know each and everything. You have desired qualification. Still, just change your work. These are some of the examples of judgmental anger. And we can do that in day-to-day living. Overwhelming anger. The person suffering from stress is generally suffering from this kind of anger. They shout in such kind of situations and things which are happening around them. When things are too overwhelming and they think that these are out of control, this anger is known as overwhelming anger. Retaliatory anger. This is probably one of the most common of the bunch. Retaliatory anger usually occurs as a direct response to someone else lashing out at you. For example, how dare you can do that? And the person listening this just responds, it is my right to do and I'll do. Do what you can do. It's retaliatory anger. Paranoid anger. This anger is almost unnoticed and we cannot judge whether the person is suffering from paranoid anger or not. Because this anger comes from jealousy towards others. Because they feel other people have or want to take what's rightfully theirs. Or they may act out because they feel imitated by others. For example, if you are jealous of your relatives, friends, co-workers because of their financial strength, you are suffering from paranoid anger. Last but not the least, deliberate anger. Using anger to gain power over the situation or person is known as deliberate anger. A person expressing this form of anger may not start out angry, but will get angry when something does not turn accordingly, or someone doesn't see eye to eye with something they have planned. Deliberate anger is one of the most common form of anger and can come anytime and even goes when the things are going to go accordingly. Folks, till now we have discussed what is anger, types of angers, what causes us anger, and now we are going to discuss what is anger management. My friends, anger management is nothing more than managing your communication. And how we can manage communication? We can manage communication by being an active listener. If you're going to be an active listener, you're not going to get angry. The biggest cause of getting angry is you're not listening attentively and then blaming others that what you have said is not get according to plan. Choose of non-attacking words and use of polite term. If you are not going to use non-attacking words or personal attacks and have a polite tone during conversation, you are going to manage your anger easily. And don't, third point is that don't let an argument expand. If your conversation is heating up into argument, just leave the conversation, else you will get angry. Friends, these things are going to come with patience and practice. Once you're going to be patient, have patience and practice all these things, with passage of time, you're going to get control of all these things. Anger management cannot be learned overnight. It is a learned behavior which goes for lifetime. You have to manage anger with the willingness of managing it. What are the benefits of anger management? Once we are going to able to manage our anger, we are going to have healthier relationships free of damaging anger. And who else don't want to be have healthy relationship? But my friends, even years of healthy relationships get distorted due to your anger. But once you are going to know the art of managing anger, you can have healthy relationships for lifetime. Improved self-esteem and confidence. You can have improved self-worth, you can have improved confidence once you know that yes, I can manage my anger effectively. And I know the technique of managing angers. Whatever the situation would be, I'm not going to get out of control. I'm going to have patience. I'm going to listen. I'm going to do this work effectively. And there should not be any hurdle or problem. Once you're going to go with this mindset, you're going to have improved self-esteem and confidence. And in whatever work you're going to put your hand, is going to be a success. Ability to express yourself without being aggressive. As I said earlier, once you have made your mindset that I'm going to express myself effectively and without getting angry, you're going to have a good, healthier relationship, good life. And whatever work you're going to put your hand, as I said, it would be a success. Create lasting and loving relationships free of aggression. Once you know that I have to do self control, whatever the situation would be, you can easily create long lasting relationships free of aggression. Once you are going to know the anger management techniques, you can express your emotions confidently, freely. You can have clear goals and objectives that you have to achieve in your life, and which can only be achieved once you are going to master the art of anger management. And anger management can only be mastered through willingness of it. If you are willing to master your anger, only then these anger management techniques would work. Else, whatever you're going to try is going to be useless. And once you are going to manage your anger effectively, you will have increased happiness in your life. You will understand the purpose of your life. You are going to move towards your purpose confidently and effectively, and it's going to be very good for you and others too. Tools to tame anger. It's very simple, friends. And anger can be a powerful, but managing sometimes is challenging. It takes plenty of self-awareness and self-control to manage your angry feelings. And these skills take time to develop. Once you are going to know who I am, what I can do with my abilities, only then you can master your anger. Else it would be very difficult for you in spite of knowing tools and techniques to manage your anger. Now, next question arises, what is self-awareness and what is self-control? Self-awareness is the ability to notice what you are feeling and thinking and why. Once you are going to know yourself or the situation, that how I'm going to deal with it, you can manage your anger effectively. Self-control is all about thinking before you act. I know that it's quite a difficult thing that you have to think before you act. But once you are going to do that, you are going to be a visionary and people are going to call you voice. Together, self-awareness, self-control allow you to have more choice about how to act when you are feeling an intense emotion like anger. Now, friends, I'm going to share the 5-step approach to managing anger. If something happens that makes you feel angry, this approach can help you to manage your reaction. It's called a problem solving approach because you start with a problem you're angry about, and then you weigh your choices and decide what you will do. Friends, each step involves asking yourself a couple of questions, then answering them based on a particular situation. Here we are not going to discuss a particular situation. I'm going to just give you an overview of the steps and how you are going to deal with it. Here's what to do. Identify the problem. As I told earlier, self-awareness. It deals with self-awareness. Start by noticing what you are angry about and why. Put it into words, what's making you upset, so you can act rather than react. Ask yourself what got me angry, what I am feeling, and why. You can do this either in your mind or loud, or you can write it down on paper. But one thing you have to note, you have to be clear and specific. Because, my friends, this is a managing anger approach, and you have to identify the problem with calmness, with patience, and with free mind. And when you are angry, I say you don't use this approach because it will show its adverse effects rather than benefiting you. Second step in this approach is think of the potential solution before responding. It comes self-control. Think before you act. This is where you stop for a minute to give yourself time to manage your anger. It is also where you start thinking how you might react, or but without reacting yet. Ask yourself, what can I do? And think of at least 3 things or 3 situations and how you can deal with it. Think it through, or you can say, consider the consequences of each solution. This is where you think about what is likely to result from each of the different reactions you came up with. For instance, what will happen for each one of these options? For example, should I go for a meeting? There comes option, not now. After 1 hour, the meeting is not necessary. Choose one option that fits best for you and others too. And then you can see its potential consequences, that how it can affect you in long run. Choose it accordingly and you're going to manage your anger effectively. Pick one of your options as I told you. Make a decision. This is where you have to take action by choosing one of the 3 things you could do. Look at the list and pick one that is likely to be most effective. What is my best choice? I should leave for a meeting right now after 1 hour, or should I just leave the meeting? What suits best you and others, go for it. Last but not the least, check your progress. After you have acted, the situation is over. Spend some time thinking about how it went. Ask yourself, how did I do? Did things work out as I expected? If not, why not? Am I satisfied with the choice I made? Taking some time to reflect on how things work out after it's all over is a very important step. It helps you learn about yourself and it allows you to test which problem solving approach work best in different situations. These 5 steps are pretty simple and when you are calm, but as you are angry or going through tough times, don't use this approach. As I said in the starting of the approach, that anger management tools and techniques only work when you are calm and willing to tame your anger. The 5 step approach is a good when you are in a particular situation that got you angry and you need to decide what action to take. But other things can also help you to manage anger. Try these things to help prevent angry feelings from building inside. What are the other techniques apart from 5 step approach? Because once we are going to agree, we are not going to think about the 5 step approach, that how I am feeling, what I have to do. It's a time consuming. Instead of getting angry, use these instant techniques that work best for you, and you will definitely get the results. First technique is exercise. Go for a walk, work out, or play a sport. It means just remove from the situation yourself. Listen to the music. Music can heal you and make desired changes in the mood at once. And if you like, you can dance too. And it will two in one exercise with music. Write down your thoughts and emotions. You can write down your thoughts and emotions in a journal or in the form of poetry, song, whatever. And after you have written it down, throw it away, burn it, or keep it with you. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that writing down your thoughts at once and feelings have really improved your mood and just change your mood or change the way you react toward the particular situation. And if you are an artist or not, try this. I often use this. Draw something which you really want, and when you're feeling angry, you want that I should draw that particular thing, and later on I'm going to just burn it or just rub the paper and all these things. Just go for it, whatever. And sometimes you will definitely going to be surprised. A hidden artist in you has born, and you'll definitely make a masterpiece. Meditate or practice deep breathing. See, I'm not going to read meditate above than deep breathing, because in order to meditation you have to really get indulged in it and you should have a flair for it and charm for it to do. But you can do deep breathing at once and really tame your anger. Talk about the feelings with someone you trust. Here I want to add one more point. Talk about your emotions with who are complete strangers to you. Because if you are going to talk about the emotions with complete strangers, you are going to see that it's really going to help you in order to tame your anger, because you're never going to meet again in their life and you can express yourself freely. I have used this technique a lot in my life and really get benefited. I'm a good example of it, because whenever I feel angry, I just go and talk with strangers and express my emotions and all these things. And sometimes they have given me the best advice, which even the most trusted person would not give me. And that really has affected me. And last but not the least, distract yourself from the situation. Once you are going to distract yourself, you can really protect yourself from getting angry and others too. I know it's very difficult, but once you are going to have a mindset that, okay, I'm going to get out of this situation, come what may, you will go. Friends, these techniques are helpful for two reasons. Number one, They help you to cool down when you feel like your anger might explode. When you really need to be cooled down, try one of these techniques I have told you. And if you have alternatives that you will not have regret while taking action, go for it. As I've told earlier, some of them are writing down your feelings or helping relieve tension or talking with stranger, drawings, go for a walk, exercise, listen music, whatever you feel comfortable or whatever comes in your mind, you can do that. These techniques practically help you to manage your anger in general. If you don't know any anger technique, just remove yourself from the situation, do whatever you feel do comfortable, and you will know that you will really have cope up with the anger and really able to protect yourself and others too from really bad situation getting involved in it. Now, generally, people ask me that if there is no immediate solution, we think, and we have to burst our anger, what to do? Regret. Answer is simple, because if you are going to burst it, regret will be companion for lifetime. You have to be a regret. My friends, in the end, it can be only said that anger management techniques really work when you work on them. My friends, that's what a presentation is all about, anger management. Hope I am able to tell you a bit about anger, which is really going to help you in order to manage it effectively. If you have any questions, you are free to ask, and it would be an honor if you're going to answer it and you're going to get satisfied from it. Over to you.
Absolutely, Gaurav. Very unique, I mean, simple points put in a unique way. So, thank you for that. Yes, any
Thank you.
questions from anybody? And before that, just wanted to remind that we do these webinars every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we have our webinar for tomorrow. And the topic is Microsoft Azure Cloud, the overview, technologies, migration. It will be an exciting one. And on Thursday, another very, very unique topic, and I think everybody will benefit some way or the other, is alternative medicine, which is universal energy. Are you ready to welcome that universal energy medicine into your life? So that's something very different, and the speaker is I mean, she deals with this and she's a Reiki teacher herself. So all of that, many, I mean, it will be on all the alternative medicine that is out there. So please do join us, and definitely we have our youth webinars as well. Okay, having that said that, can we please go for the questions?
Any questions? Please feel free to ask.
Yes,
I
Nagendra,
think,
please go
Yeah.
ahead.
Hey, Gaurav. It was a
hey,
nice presentation. Yeah,
thank
learned
you.
a few new things. I have one question, like say anger management. So when you say anger, it is when you get an anger. I believe like the hormones that comes out of your brain plays a key role. Okay, so when though I think I know there are two types of hormones. If it increases or decreases based on that, your emotions changes, your mood swing changes. So because of that, if you get an anger, how do we know? Because when you are in anger, we can't realize, okay, we will be thinking in a different way, okay? How are we going to control that? Even though we have seen a lot of things, if I'm getting angry, I can't be in control, right? So somebody has to be uh, making me to come out of that.
Yes,
Or
it's a
else
very good
most of the
question.
time, like first
As
one,
I have told you earlier, anger management is a learned behavior and cannot be learned overnight. You have to be willing in order to use anger management techniques. There is no shadow of doubt that once you're feeling angry, you're going to burst it out. And it's a good thing that you're going to burst. But later on, for how long period you're going to do that? You are doing it right from the childhood till now. And what you are getting results? Nothing. Now it's time to change. Now you have to be a willingness inside of you in order to learn these techniques. And anger management techniques is a lifelong learning. It doesn't mean that you're able to manage one situation, you can manage others too. Every situation is different. Every response to that situation is totally different. It's a learned behavior and it comes only through self awareness and self control. You have to do deep breathing. Just make a fist and hold it as much tight as you can. And later on, release your hand slowly and slowly. And you think that with this only, you're going to manage your anger effectively. Try this, and it's really going to work out. The moment you are bursting, just make a fist and hold it as strong as you can. And release your hand slowly and slowly. And you will see the moment you are going to release your hand, anger is also going to release. Thank you
okay.
for asking the question.
Yeah, I have another question, Gaurav. Say,
Yeah,
if you get
sure.
an anger, if you get an
Yeah.
anger in office on your superior or with your coworker, you most of them will be in control. Okay, they can't burst on them. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
they think a lot before they burst. But if the same anger comes in a family, they are not in control. They burst right away. Okay, so how do you
Yes.
differentiate it?
See, the main differentiation is the protection. You have protection for job. You know that if I'm going to outburst on my coworker or boss, he's going to fire me out. But you know that this is my relative. If you're going to outburst on it, then also he or she is going to be with me, come what may. It can distort relationship, but not for long term. Few days, few weeks, few months, few years. Later on, we'll be united. The moment we are going to realize our mistakes. But once the job is gone, it will not come. You have to find it yourself. This is the reason.
Great, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so that is why Nagendra, it is said that always treat your wife and kids and everybody as your boss. Then there will be no problem at all.
Yes, absolutely, Julian. Absolutely.
That's true. Yeah,
Nagendra,
yeah. Listening.
yeah. So this is the best advice you got, and you please tell that to your wife as well. So,
Should be a
yeah,
secret.
this yeah, that is so very true. We have so much of control, so much of dignity, respect, and as soon as we come to home and we can just shout and scream, um, uh, I mean, the worst part that happens that whatever is we get it from office also or from outside, even outside our comfort zone, and those also are put out to the family members. So yeah, what's and another thing, if we what I have seen is that if we control and manage and we keep it to ourselves, all that let go, but still it goes in the mind and it comes out some way or the other. So I mean, any technique or anything that we can apply to um, reduce that. I guess the forgiveness part of it, or which way to go, uh, Gaurav, if you can.
Once you are going to know that degree or amount of importance of the relationship you're dealing with or situation particular, how it can affect you in long term, you will definitely get it in control automatically. As I answered the questions, once you're going to be in office, you know that we can't burst. You have that in mind that whatever the situation would be, I have to be calm. You have already made your mind such. And in family, you know that there is no boss and all these things. I have to be with my parents, wife, or whatever relation. You go for it, and you know that it would be all right as the time comes. So the degree of importance of relationship or the situation helps you understand how you have to deal with your anger, and it comes naturally with the passage of time. With there are a lot of things that affect your age factor, your mental capability of handling the anger, your self control, self awareness, your formal education, and how you have to deal with the situation so that it should not affect adversely in long term. Once you are going to know all these things in your mind, you will deal with it effectively. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Gaurav. Any other question?
I would love to answer whatever questions. In fact, this question answer session is more beneficiary than the whole presentation because it's a general point which you are going to see to forget. But once you are going to ask at your personal level questions, you're going to get response at personal level. That is really going to help you. Therefore, I request all the participants to ask at least one question if the time allows.
Yeah, one more
Absolutely.
question, Gaurav. Like, say, there are a couple of disorders, like bipolar disorders, okay, which comes out of mood swings as a talking. So, in those situations, I know, uh, there would be the people who has that kind of disorders, they will keep on angry on other people. Okay, there will be a reason, there may not be a reason. Okay,
Yeah.
in that situations, how does the anger management help? But scientifically, from physicians or doctors perspective, I think I am aware that there is a medicine which controls them to get rid out of, or get rid out of it. But if somebody is going through anger management training or something, will that help them for
Yes.
diseases like bipolar disorders?
Yes. It comes under the category of chronic anger because anger becomes part of your life and it can only be go through counseling. Once you and you should not take counseling as mental disorder or uh, patients go to psychiatrists and others. Even a normal person who is dealing with a situation and not able to cope with it can go to psychiatrists and easily get rid of all these things. And there is no shame in expressing your emotions really with the psychiatrist or whatever, because it has become part of your life and can only go through counseling.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other question?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nagendra. Any other question from anyone? If not, then just yeah, want to remind you one more time that we have these webinars, and if you want to get more details, please do email us at webinar@letustalkit.com. We do our youth series either Friday, or we are thinking of changing it to Saturday. So you'll be notified accordingly, the timings and everything about that. But this week's youth webinar topic is books, the books that we love, why we love. So uh, I mean, the youth are working very hard to bring to you this presentation. So please join us at Let Us Talk It Youth Series. And as I already said, for tomorrow we have Microsoft Azure Cloud topic, and then on Thursday we have alternative medicine as our topic. So I think, and also there are yoga sessions that you can join. that happens every Wednesday from 9 to 10 p.m. EST, and Sundays from 10 to 11 a.m. EST. So those were the information for our webinars. We always try to bring in new topics, but if you have any suggestions, any feedback, any comments, please do write in at webinar@LetUsTalkIt.com. Okay, and with that, we just show our thanks to Gaurav. Gaurav, thank you so much for taking
Thank
out
you
your
so much.
time. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, audience, for joining in. We hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you, Gaurav. I see
Thank you very
somebody
much.
raised their hand. Saurabh,
Yeah,
it's all.
Saurav just now. Can you please unmute and talk, Saurav?
Yeah, sure. I don't have any question, but I just want to thank Gaurav Sharma and appreciating his, and I like the two techniques most, I think, which will help me a lot. The first one is meditation. I think with the help of meditation we can reduce our stress level. And the second technique which I like the most is express your emotions with strangers, or in fact in front of mirror also we can do this. These techniques I like the most, and I'll definitely apply in my life too.
Thank you, sir, very much.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav. It's a very
Thank you.
structured presentation. Thank you so much for your time. It will really definitely help.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Saurav. Thank you, Srini. And Saurav, when you apply those techniques, and whether it works or doesn't work, please come back to us and let us know. We would love to
Sure.
hear from you, and we will also try it because those were very powerful technique, I guess. So
Yeah.
with that, we end this session. Thank you so much, Gaurav, and all those
Thank you very
attendees
much.
who joined and interacted with us today. Thank you.
Thank you all the participants and the host. Thank you very much.
Thank you.